Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Roswell, New Mexico, Season 3, Episode 4, Killing Me Softly with his song, ominous title. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I don't want to wait any longer. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. Oh my god. Oh, he healed him enough. Oh, thank god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Kyle. Max. Holy shit. Oh, thank god Kyle seems to be living. I need Max and Liz and Kyle to all remain that way. He's alive and cuddling an alien.
How did I end up alien stuff? It was a nice touch, though. That doesn't make any sense.
Did Jones connect him to Liz somehow, temporarily, or just whoever he had a connection to? Is that why it's suddenly working this way? And so it's keeping him alive because he sucked the life, and they're like, he damaged Liz's heart in saving Kyle, which protected his. Have we stopped? No more visions, please, of funerals. Exactly, I agree. I can't think who else would have that other than maybe his mum. Alex's house has a bunker under it. Can we, or like the cabin? Can we go there, please? I hate this guy. I hated him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hate him here. Thank you! My loves.
I made myself a promise this morning. I'm gonna drink less tequila and I'm gonna take care of the people who matter.
Oh, that's so sweet. Alex, I'm fine. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Oh, churro.
Okay, Liz is gonna freak out when she hears that she missed this.
For my visa, when I had no voice,
Oh. Oh, I'm so glad he has a visa now. Genuinely a weight off my mind.
You cannot be happy if you can't be yourself.
Exactly. Honestly, it kills me, but I feel like she might be better off if she moved, which I don't want her to do.
If I'm going down, it's gotta be swinging.
Kyle! Get to the bunker right now! Oh my god, has he got bulletproof vest on? Oh, this bastard. He's gonna be very surprised to see Kyle up and around. Sweetheart, you have a mobile phone you could call them with. Oh fuck! We have mobile phones, right? Let's phone ahead! You can't trust anyone. Oh, it's true. You can't, even if you want to trust Max, it's hard.
Who would watch you?
I could. I mean, I bet I'd make a pretty good bodyguard. Alien and all.
Would he kill Liz or somebody else to save Max? Is that how it works?
No, we're Bracken. I know I'll come back home. How long were you two married?
Let's let sleeping dogs lie, shall we?
This isn't helping. Being like, turning it. Why do I feel like that was the... I'm guessing it's like the racists. How dare you! Oh my god. Yes, Arturo! Oh, my poor loves. I hate how accurate this is to America right now and to parts of the UK, and ugh. Fuck off! He's just needling at their sore points and vulnerable points. Because I think he would be, if he was truly earnestly wanting to help Max and help them, he would just be telling them everything. He would be being so helpful. Not what he's doing.
When there's trouble at 3 a.m., they still dial 911.
Not always. Max, think about it. They didn't call when they had the Confederate. They didn't call when they were beaten. Mm-hmm. And Max, sweetheart, saying that thing about they still call us at 3 a.m. They didn't call you when they were assaulted. They didn't call you when there was a Confederate flag. They didn't. Because I think to an extent, if Max is willing to stand by his morals, to not just follow orders when they're bad orders, etc., we do need good people to be in the police forces as they stand, because otherwise it is just the bad apples running the show. But most of the time, the good apples are quiet in the corner if they exist, or they get turned into bad apples. Mm-hmm. Yeah, could you go away now, please? Mm-hmm.
I'll take it from here. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll stay.
No, you won't.
Jane, Holden, you should be able to help.
Send him on a wild goose chase.
I'm experiencing your heart failure, and if the connection doesn't fade soon, it's gonna kill me.
Oh, I know, that's what I'm stressed about. I don't want any of you to die. I want Jones to die. If anyone has to die, actually, like, can we get one of the racists and do it to them?
Take him out. Fresh more balls.
How do we take him out? I'm here for it.
Really love to take down the bitch ass racist who's been targeting my family friend.
Happy to have you both on the team.
Oh, God. Holy shit!
It's like your life forces, they're tied together.
Fuck! Oh, we're gonna need Jones. Did he kill the person that's dead? I trust them that they have a plan, but I'm so stressed. Oh, holy shit.
Also, your sadness does not excuse your racism.
Y'all love throwing around
Mm-hmm.
Always playing the victim. Systems rigged against guys like me.
But it's not, you idiot.
Is that somehow all of your problems are magically caused by people who don't look like you.
Exactly.
Judged.
Exactly. Are they live streaming this somehow?
His body.
You're damn right I did. Come on. Let's do this.
This live stream is hitting all the times feed. 10,000 views already. Not bad for a small town beat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good, good, good. This is still stressful. Oh, God. I'm so stressed.
Don't let him touch you.
looking for the most wicked person I could find. And when I found Zeke, he was beating a farmer to death.
So you followed him down to Rio Hondo and then you burned him alive.
Zeke's life is not as valuable as your brother's.
That might be true, but it does not make it okay.
Listen to my feet.
It doesn't make you a hero.
It's easy. Do it.
Do it. At this point, it's done. Letting them die is not going to make anything different. What happened? Are you all okay? Oh. I'm stressed that Jones has somehow put his brain into one of them or something, or...
My purpose has always been
Good.
in my own backyard. I have a feeling I already knew that, though.
I'm glad you're back.
Me too. Yeah. Bye, Heath.
You said you trusted me.
I do.
These aren't her secrets to tell.
Couldn't find the only person that could fix it.
She wasn't in her right mind when she sent you on a wild goose chase, but you're right to be
I
hurt.
know that you may not have wanted to hurt me, Liz.
Well,
I cannot imagine a way you could have hurt me anymore.
I'm very sorry for you, but time to go back to LA and leave us alone. I'm sorry, Heath. Goodbye.
Liz asked me to do that?
Oh.
No.
Oh. I love these two interacting.
Least I can do.
You know, when I was a kid, feeling guilty, I used to lie in my truck thinking about what Roswell would be like all grown up. always thought if you didn't get to live a life that I didn't deserve one either.
I've never heard you say this many words at once. It's freaky.
Not a lot of people get a second chance to make things right. You did, though. Makes me think there's hope for me yet.
Maybe there is.
Yeah. Please don't secretly be Jones.
I knew you'd still be here.
The reason for that is far more complicated than the manner of.
I think he's Jones.
We can't stop hurting each other.
I'm so stressed.
Never meant to do what I did.
You aren't the only one.
Because he sounds more like Jones than Max right now.
Orbits.
If it's not Jones, I'm losing my mind.
And eventually everything in them saying about us, Max,
Oh.
about what we are doing to the people around us.
That if you just got together, everything would be okay. That's what. I'm so stressed. Like, I think something's still gonna happen. Because things are ash is falling or snow or whatever is fucking falling. Mm-hmm. Where is he? Don't you dare tell me something's happened to him.
Because we all know someone
Oh, true. Has his girls.
or a little guy.
It's not Evans and Jones is gonna kill Kyle when Kyle finds him. Oh my god. Nope. Fuck.
And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep them safe.
Maybe it is Max.
And
Roswell, don't you dare end! At this point, I might as well just not bother watching it and just binge the whole season when the whole thing's here. Oh my god. So, the ending. Kyle, where is he? Because he was in the house when it was happening. He was in the house when people were there. Is he in another room injured? Did he chase them out? But then he just stayed with Maria. Did they take him? What the fuck is going on? Maria would 100% throw herself in front of whatever bullet was coming for Kyle or any of her friends, because they all would. We love Maria. She was breathing. So she'll be fine because she was breathing. She'll be fine because she was breathing. She'll be fine. I'm stressed. So stressed. So yeah, the idea that Max survived healing Kyle because he was still through connected to Liz, and that created a connection to Kyle, which was keeping him alive, was very interesting. And then the fact that Jones had to power up by murdering somebody else. Now, murdering... Again, like, from a completely cold perspective, yes, murdering a vile, abusive racist to save a good person, you know, it's kind of like if a train, I don't know, if you had to choose one or the other, you would always save Max, but it doesn't make it right. I don't know what else they could have done if that was any way to save him. I'm not gonna cry tears about it, but it makes currently Jones kind of embody like an anti-hero position, but I still don't know if I still think he could be a villain. I'm very glad he saved Max. I'm glad that Liz was able to hopefully shake off Heath. But also Heath and the company knows she gets her samples from Roswell, so what if they all come in? I don't know if we've seen the last of Heath. I feel bad for him, don't get me wrong. He truly just fell for the amazing woman that is Liz Orteco, and she was not currently emotionally open and around. He will be better off if he just moves back to LA and moves on with his life, because I don't think Liz would ever have been happy there, and I don't think she ever would have been happy with him. Maybe in a long time she might have got over Max, because I don't think there is just one person for everybody, but I think definitely she didn't love him in this as much as Max. Okay, so Liz is back. She's healthy, great. She's having pancakes with Arturo and Rosa. Everything is beautiful in that little front. Liz and Max. So, like, genuinely, there was a part of my brain that was like, is this Jones? Did Jones swap bodies with Max? And like some of how he phrased things in the conversation with Liz, my brain was like in overdrive. Like, that's not a Max way to say that. But I don't know. I think the fact that he came home and found Maria, I feel like that is not where they're taking the plot, so maybe I will keep that as a teeny tiny bit of seed in the back of my brain, but I do think maybe it's not the case. But then why would Jones just so happily let himself be taken? I know he was knocked out, but you know, just why? Jones, I still don't trust him. I think it's his manner, it's his way. It's not just that he's different from Max, but it's the way every time he's spoken to them, he has needled at a sore point in them. He has looked for vulnerabilities and tugged on them a bit. You know, he's not presented himself in the way, if you were just a genuinely person who was like, hey kids, I want to help you. That's not the manner you go about it. He's gone about it in a creepy, slimy, shady way. But I still do think letting him save Max was the right call, even when you found out what he did. But when you found out what he did, putting him back in a pod, 100% the right call. And I'm going to try and ignore the tiny bing in my brain that's like, the what if, because Max did act like Max, then he also was kind of, there was that distance between him and Liz, but then that could literally just come down to the fact that things are very uncomfortable and awkward between them right now because they desperately love each other, but they currently feel like they can't be together. And so it is weird when every impulse in you is to say, ignore that, let's be together and just embrace her, when you have to be like, yes, you're right, our connection, yes. It is awkward and weird, and so you would act different even if it wasn't that, stress. I think they have a point, but I think the part of the reason that they keep hurting everybody with their love or whatever, their love has nothing to do with what's hurting everybody. The problem is that they need to be together and be open with each other, fully tell each other every fear. If they're going to go off and do some crazy scheme, tell the other person. I think that is the most important part. I don't think they have some doomed cosmic love. I think they have a very enduring, powerful, and strong love that deserves a chance. A chance in which times aren't as hectic, which obviously they're in TV shows, it's never going to happen, but I think they just need to be together and let their walls down fully, trust the other person, tell them everything, because we've seen what happens when we don't, and it doesn't go well. So I really do hope that that is eventually a path we can take with them. I have missed Alex. Where is Alex Maines? Is he being held prisoner by Deep Sky? Is he being held prisoner by the weird machine? Has he left? Or has he just literally been there? Working on my machine? Or maybe someone's getting murdered upstairs, but I'm working on my machine. Like, realistically, Alex would have been around, especially once he found out something had happened with Kyle. I'm guessing that he just hasn't left the bunkery place. I do wonder as well, I think maybe there might be some kind of limits of people on set, or just they don't want to have too many characters running around. Where's Alex? Michael. I absolutely loved his saying to Isabel, you know, I've been thinking a lot and I want to drink less tequila and help people. And I think we are really seeing the growth of Michael Guerin throughout this show. The way he explained things to Rosa, I'm glad one of them, I think Max is a popular actor in the past, but I'm glad that he just, you know, they've never really interacted, so I just loved seeing them interact. But I was really proud of the way he just addressed it, and he just apologised. And, you know, it doesn't make it all magically okay, but he was right. They were just scared, stupid kids trying to hide the fact that they were aliens. And if they'd have stopped and thought, what will happen if we put the one person of colour in the driver's seat, they would not have done that. They'd have put her in the back and had one of the blondes in the front seat. But they, having never experienced that kind of racism, it was not at the forefront of their brain. So they were dumb, and it caused unimaginable pain beyond Rosa's death. And I think for Michael, him sort of feeling like, oh, you know, we did that, so therefore I don't deserve a life. It does explain so much, because I know that kind of the fallout of that was why he didn't take his scholarship, because he had a scholarship to really good universities. I remember that from the, like, he could have had an amazing life. He could have had just a normal life rather than one where he kind of has just hated himself and given up on himself. So I'm really glad that he's fighting for the people around him, as he always has done, but is acknowledging that he wants to be there for people, he wants to help people. He's not going to shut himself off and withdraw and, like, kind of, you know, force people out of his life. He's going to try and be there for them as best he can. And I think right now the person he is being and striving to be is exactly the person that Alex saw in him all those years ago and has seen in him ever since, and Alex would be so proud to see, and then they could just get together and everything could be wonderful. So yeah, I'm just really proud of Michael, and I really did enjoy that scene with Rosa. And I think it's important that, like, at no point has Rosa or Liz or anyone said, oh yes, totally cool what you did, 10 out of 10. But I think once you're a bit more removed from the direct repercussions or removed from everything, it is easy to kind of think, I've been scared too. Like, you can kind of understand it, and I don't know whether or not she's forgiven it. It's not my place to say whether or not she's forgiven it, but I think it is an understandable thing of why it happened. And I do believe their remorse that they feel for it. So yeah, it's a complicated, messy situation, but I love how they are addressing it and not just hiding from it. Rosa is definitely struggling with the fact that she doesn't want to, she can't appear to be exactly like, she may look exactly like Rosa, but Rosalinda can't appear to have the exact same interests as Rosa, because it would draw too many. I mean, even if no one would think she was alive, you would think, what, how, when, where? She just not aged really well and she faked her death. You know, it would raise too many questions. She needs to be careful about calling him puppy. Like, I don't know, I assume that is only a phrase. I don't know, obviously different cultures and languages and words you use for parents. I feel like an uncle wouldn't be called that, but maybe she's like, oh, he's like a father to me. I mean, it would make sense. But she's struggling with her identity a lot, because not only is she's like 19, 20, she's at that cusp of kind of, she's growing up, she's figuring out who she is, but she also can't fully figure out who she is because if it's too much like what Rosa was, and that side of things. But I love that she still took a stand. She still was part of the sting operation on the bastard Jordan, and like she still is being true to herself. And I think she will settle, she will find who she is. Because Rosa, I mean, Rosa when she was alive, all those years ago, was a very, very troubled 19-year-old. A few years on from that, Rosa would have been a very different person to that. If she'd done what she did now, had support around her and successfully was able to, you know, recover, get in recovery, move through her addiction, you know, be sober, she would be becoming a wonderful person. If she was not able to struggle through that for whatever reason, then she would have been a very different person in a very horrible way. So I think she will be okay. What worries me is that I think in a lot of ways to truly be herself, shake off the kind of needing to hide, she'd need to leave Roswell, because in other cities people aren't going to know who she is. At most she might have been a news story one time. Like, I think, but also I don't ever want Rosa to leave because I love her. So I'm glad that we're not ignoring Rosa's struggles, but we're kind of seeing her becoming who she is and being true to herself and finding out exactly who she is now, and I love that. Arturo, seeing him again was everything. That man is everything. Oh, Jones, I think I've touched on Jones. Isabel getting more confident with her powers, I love. And again, I don't trust Jones when he says, oh yeah, that yellow, that's Noah. Because he obviously knows. He knows Noah was an abusive bastard. He knows Noah was no longer around. Clearly something terrible happened there. If not, actually, he read Max's diary, so he probably read all about what happened with Noah. So I think he's just, the way he needles at their vulnerable points, I don't trust him. Isabel, I'm still proud of. She is strong. She's learning, like, even when she gets that uncontrollable burst of fear and rage that comes out, she stops it. And I love her, and I love the journey she's going on. The reporter I really, really like, but I am stressed simply because having a reporter in town, even if they seem like a wonderful, wonderful person, it's stressful when we're hiding aliens. She may see something and maybe she'd cover it up because she knows what would happen to them would be bad and persecution and kind of the sort of thing that she would be against. So maybe if she did stumble across it, she would not tell anyone because she doesn't seem like she's interested in being like a... She's not in it. It doesn't seem like she's in it for the glory. She seems like she's in it because she cares. I think I've touched on everything apart from the ending, obviously. I want to talk about a bit more. But Gregory, love him. The plot... Roswell never shied away from the fact that, yes, we are a show about aliens in the USA, but it's also set in the real world with the real world problems and the rise of the far right, which has been happening across the world. Definitely emboldened by Trump. I mean, when I look at politics here, before Trump, some of the scandals and stuff that's happened in the politics in our country, in the UK, the politicians would have stepped down 100 times over, and even if then a couple of years later they'd be back in the cabinet, you know, they would be like, oh yes, that cheating scandal, I will step down. Whereas now they just brazen their way through it because Trump showed them that you can. And it's such a thing of white people who aren't, I mean, he's the son of the mayor, Jordan's doing fucking alright for himself, but people who have been oppressed whatever by capitalism and by like the government's bad laws or like tax breaks and unfair wages blame people of a different colour. Like, what? It's so ignorant. It's just absolving the people actually responsible of all mistakes. There is no excuse for racism whatsoever, and I love that this show has that real... It's showing how real it is. It's showing how scary it is. I mean, when those guys shoved Arturo to the ground and then had a gun, like a proper rifle, at Rosa's throat, I wanted to leap through the screen and murder them. I'm so glad Arturo had his fire extinguisher. It would be so... I can't imagine how scary it is for people of colour right now. And it always has been. That's never gone away. I'm not saying, like, oh, how has this racism appeared from nowhere? Of course not. But it's become even more open. It's become, you know, they are proud to do it publicly, more or less. And I despair for the world, I despair for the future, I despair for how much worse it's going to get before it gets better, if it gets better. And I'm really proud of this show for not shying away from that, from not, you know, in some cases it's made some parallels between if they were discovered as aliens, it would be even worse for them. But I think it's very telling that part of why they've been able to be under the radar this whole time is because they were white. You know, I feel like the only good white characters of this show are the aliens. And just seeing it's like a small town like Roswell, small towns everywhere, America itself, these militias. There's no need for men to put on, we've got camo masks and we put on alien masks and we carry a big super rifle. It's just so stupid. It is so small-minded. It is archaic. There is no need for anyone to have guns. When your precious founding fathers wrote a stupid declaration, they were slave owners as well. They were not good people. And when they wrote that, they thought you had rifles where you could go bang, reload, bang, reload. But they didn't know you could go and kill 50 people. It's so... Times have changed as well. We don't live like we did back then, so we can... It's fine. But the idea of these militias being full of white people, the fact that they are in the police force with old, stupid... I hated him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't like him in this. He only plays terrible people. It makes sense. He's not a... I mean, he's a good actor, because I hate him so much. Nathaniel. I don't actually know what his name is here. Like, they've got people in the sheriff's office. It's like the sheriff has an angel and a devil demon on her shoulder. But she's also leaning towards the white supremacy because she's best friends with the racist man. I feel like the fact that she called in that one stone was thrown through the window. Like, yes, okay, yeah, you need to then be on alert, be ready in case there's more coming. But if you look outside, not one of those protesters had a weapon. Not one of them did. They had signs and they were shouting. So, it was so obviously what Max said. It was so obviously that it was them. And it's so true throughout everything, you know. There are peaceful protests, and the people that are holding the protest, arranging the protest, they're at pains to make sure it is peaceful. We're not here to cause violence or riots. We just want peace. And then a few agitators go along, cause violence. Oh, it was a violent protest. It's just not... It just makes me so angry, and I think I'm really proud of this show for addressing these issues and these problems. And I am obviously not, as I always say, I'm quick to say, I am not the voice of all knowledge. I try my best to be an ally. I try my best to be informed. And if I ever do or say something that is not right, tell me, and I will fix what I can. It really just makes me really upset when I think about the world we live in. And so it is really hard to see it addressed on our show like this, because obviously it's hard to watch, but it's so important as well, and it's part of why I love this show, and I would never want them to stop, because it should be hard to watch. You should be watching the scenes of the racists and just feeling your skin crawl and just wanting to scream with how disgusting it is, because that is the reality for so many people out there. I'm glad Jordan is in prison, but again, he's in prison just for like moving a body, and I imagine he would be charged with like removing a body and tampering with evidence or whatever, you know, or trying to, I can't think of the word, perverting the course of justice. Hopefully for waving guns in defenseless women's faces, and like he punched Maria. I'm very stressed though about the ending. Obviously they know that Max, because Deputy Fuckface is a racist, part of the militia, they know Max was an advocate for the right thing. They know Max found evidence of the right thing. They know Max found the truth. So they are now breaking into his house. Kind of very stressful, because considering that Max writes diaries in which he says, I am an alien. Now I suppose he also has written a novel, so he could be like, yeah, I'm trying a different form where I kind of write about my life as I'm an alien. It's like a writing exercise. But he has stuff there that could be incriminating towards the alien stuff. But I'm guessing that they're just trying to mess with, maybe burn his house down as revenge. Where is Kyle? Because Kyle was in that house. I don't know whether I guess he was going to check. Yeah, he was going to check on Max, wasn't he? So he broke into the house. But he wanted to check on Max, see how he was doing. And then Maria was figured out where Kyle was, rushed there. So stressed because the ash is still falling. Maria is on the ground breathing. She will be okay. I'm manifesting that she will be okay. Kyle's okay, and he was impaled last episode. Maria will be okay. But where is Kyle? Did he not know Maria was there and run off after somebody? Is he injured? Did they take him? I'm so fracking stressed with this show. Next episode, it better be Kyle runs out of the bathroom like, oh, I was just getting Maria some water. I don't know why I didn't use the kitchen. And then Maria's like, oh yes, I fainted because I saw a ghost. and the bad guys were gone, but obviously none of that's going to happen. I'm just stressed, and I need everything to be okay, and it's not going to be okay, and I need Alex in my life. And I'm so proud of my characters. I love these characters so much. I love the world they are building within our own world, that it's not shying away from the ugly parts of it, and the ugly parts need to be addressed, especially as I think this show potentially, I mean, I'm 27, I adore the show. The characters are all like late 20s, early 30s, and yes, but it's on the CW, which is traditionally a teenage girl type channel. I think it's important for younger generations to have shows that don't shy away from the truth of the world, so that they can grow up with that sense of injustice and try and make the world better. But yes, I'm rambling. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. I'm fucking stressed, and thank you for watching.